Hey you guys, welcome back to Philadelphia Live. My name is Judea Murray. We have so much happening today. I mean, you're taking a live look at a couple of different areas. Let's walk through them together. So first and foremost, on my side, you are taking a live look at Beirut, Lebanon. Every now and then we're actually hearing what seems to be maybe some type of airstrikes or something over in the area. We'll be able to let you listen in live a little later on. They're few and far in between, but every now and again we do hear what sounds like a boom. And this is coming as we are learning that Iran has announced a U.S. drone pilot was shot down, and they are also telling people to hunt that pilot down. We'll get into that in just a second. So you're also, of course, taking a live look at the White House, where we're hoping any minute to hear from the president. So far, we haven't heard anything just yet. It would also be interesting to hear from Secretary of War Pete Hegseth and whether or not he has any information on this, because what was it, a couple of nights ago, Wednesday? That's when the president addressed the United States, the nation, about the latest in Iran. And at the time, he had said, we are so much closer to being at an end to this conflict. He also, during that time, said, hey, you guys, just hold on a little while longer. We are annihilating Iranian military. And so for us to see a moment like this where potentially an American pilot has been shot down, it is extremely interesting. I just saw that the Associated Press was suggesting that now the U.S. is participating in a rescue mission. So again, we'll have more on that when we come back. And then next but certainly not least, Artemis II. We have made history. For the first time since 1972, we have sent 4 astronauts out into deep space. Their mission is to get out there to the moon. And so every now and again, we'll show you some live pictures from outside of that aircraft. It's a very exciting time for all of us to see this happen. We also know that there are a lot of firsts happening there, where we've got the first African American out in space, deep space that is. We also have the first woman, and then we also have an astronaut joining us from Canada who's on this special mission. So it's not just NASA. Now, if this is your first time joining us on Philadelphia Live, I'm gonna tell you right now, this is not your traditional newscast. So if that's what you're expecting, throw that out the window. I'm not your traditional news anchor. We're going to talk about some of the biggest things happening around town, but you are also able to interact with us in real time. So we're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube. If you've got a question for one of our reporters, got a question for me, you want me to touch base on something that maybe I haven't touched just yet, you hit me up in the comment section. I'm able to read it in real time, and every now and again, I may shout you out and read your comment live here. If not, then we'll just address whatever it is that you wanted us to talk about. So a lot of big things happening. The other big headline, Pam Bondi, our Attorney General, is out of a job. So first and foremost, we heard about this not too long ago. The president made this big announcement on Thursday saying that Pam Bondi is no longer the Attorney General. You're taking a look at some video of her there. Now, according to a Fox News digital report, Pam Bondi was actually with the president in the Oval Office right before he made that speech to the nation where he was talking about this ongoing conflict with Iran. They say by the time he took the podium, though, she had already gotten notice that she was going to be out of there. And so from there, we've learned that she will be replaced by Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, and that's going to be as the interim Attorney General. Whether or not he will stay and be permanent is still to be seen, but that's the latest that we have there. Now, the president did address this announcement on Truth Social. We have his post up for you. It says, and hope you don't mind me reading to you, but just in case people are not necessarily watching actively but listening in, it says, Pam Bondi is a great American patriot and a loyal friend who faithfully served as my Attorney General over the past year. Pam did a tremendous job overseeing a massive crackdown in crime across our country, with murders plummeting to their lowest level since 1900. We love Pam, and she will be transitioning to a much needed and important new job in the private sector, to be announced at a date in the near future. And our Deputy Attorney General and a very talented and respected legal mind, Todd Blanche, will step in as to serve as acting Attorney General. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. Now, this announcement, as you all can figure, just comes months after there's been some scrutiny over the Justice Department's handling of the Jeffrey Epstein sex trafficking files. You guys have definitely been paying attention to that. On almost every live stream we have, there's somebody in the comments saying, hey, what about the files? What about Epstein? Why aren't you guys talking about that? So it is interesting that we do see this ousting happening not very long after some of those files were made public, and so much scrutiny has been happening there. We know that Pam Bondi has been just one of many conservative targets because she does have close ties to the president, and some people suggest that maybe she's been covering up for him. She's also been struggling to come to terms with some of the president's demands as it corresponds to some of the persecutions that he's been seeing legally. So it's, again, all really interesting there. But from that Truth Social post, it seems like there's absolutely no bad blood. He wished her the best in the future. And so what she'll be doing next in the private sector that he mentioned is to be seen, but we will definitely be keeping you up to date on it. All right, moving forward, I don't know if you have heard the latest on this Pooh Shiesty, Gucci Mane debacle, but there is a lot to unpack here, so let's try to get through it together. Gucci Mane is one of the trending topics on Google today, and that's because rapper Pooh Shiesty, I believe he's from Memphis, Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken, they say that he came all the way to Dallas and had some sort of armed kidnapping situation that he's been charged for, by the way. And they say it was so that he could force his release from Gucci Mane's recording label. So he's not the only rapper facing charges, though. Big 30 is also under the wire. They are among 9 other people who have been charged for allegedly orchestrating an armed robbery and then kidnapping 3 people at a Dallas music studio. And so, according to the reports that we're seeing, they allegedly used an AK-style pistol to force a contract release. They say they also stole luxury watches, cash, and then they blocked victims like Gucci Mane, according to the report, from escaping, which is, all intents and purposes, considered kidnapping. And then they also say that electronic monitoring and social media posts linked to the suspects to the crime suggest that Pooh Shiesty is one of them, of course, and then Big 30. But they say Pooh Shiesty was already on federal home confinement during this incident. So very curious situation happening there. Big in the world of entertainment, and I don't know if you guys were paying attention to it, but seeing that a lot of you are joining us on social media, I figure you've probably seen the TikToks, the Instagram Reels, all the posts, just trying to keep up to date on this. I know for sure Atlanta, Gucci Mane is the East Atlanta Santa. They're talking about it wholeheartedly. And with that being said, just in case this is the first time you're seeing me, because normally I'm actually on late at night. My name is Judea Murray. I came here from Fox 5 Atlanta. I'm here to bring you your top news of the day, and you guys can stay connected with me. I am Judea Murray on all social media platforms. We talk about weather, we talk about sports. Sometimes I ask you some pretty spicy questions, and we got one today that I'll share with you a little later on. And then every now and again, we're also able to talk to some of our reporters live out in the field, talking to them about how they've gotten to the story, how it's developing, and then when there's breaking news, we're able to get that to you live in real time. Every now and again, I will also talk about some of our comments that are coming in on TikTok. So remember, if you guys ask a question or you want me to talk about something, that is the best way to do it. Hit me up in the comment section on one of our social media platforms. All right, Artemis II. Let's get back to it. We are making history. You're taking a live look at a camera on the outside of Orion. That is the aircraft that is carrying out this Artemis II mission. So the whole point is they're trying to get to and around the moon, and then they'll loop all the way back to Earth, where the 4 astronauts on board will be able to talk to us about some of the things that they found out there. And some of those findings will help us determine whether or not humans can really thrive out there in deep space, whether or not we could ever have something like a international isn't the right word, intergalactic space station. Could that be a thing in the future? And then also, could we make our way to Mars? So these are some of the questions that they want to answer with this particular trip. And then they plan to do Artemis launches in the future to make it all a reality. So it's really interesting here. Could you imagine humans living on the moon? So let's talk about the astronauts who are doing this. We've got Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Cook. They're all from the US. They're all from NASA. And then Jeremy Hansen is joining us from the Canadian Space Agency. They boarded that huge spacecraft that took off at around 6:25, 6:30-ish p.m. Eastern Standard Time from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. We watched it live on Philadelphia Live. It was so cool to be able to witness history being made like that. Again, they're expected to travel around the moon and then come back to Earth. But in case you were wondering a little bit more about this timeline, how long could it take to get us there? I'll walk through it with you all. So day one, that was just a launch. That was when they were orbiting the Earth. And then from there, we know they were also going to make it back to after orbiting the Earth, they were going to make it around to the moon. And that is what they are doing now. When they get there, I'm sure we'll be able to see some live pictures. I, for one, would be really excited to see what the moon actually looks like up close, live in person. I've only ever seen photographs and illustrations of the moon. So I will be monitoring NASA's live stream, that is for sure. Now, on the next couple of days, they will start making their way back, I believe, starting days 6 to 9, and by day 10, which will be sometime next week, of course, that's when we could see them making their way back. And we would love to be able to stream that live for you guys, too. We are live on all hours here on Fox 29 Philadelphia. So if you are ever interested in what's going on here in the city of Philadelphia, the state of Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, national news and international news, you can get all of that and so much more right here. All right, with that though, I wanted to see, we have a little bit of time left. Could we listen in and see if they're actually talking to the astronauts on that spacecraft? Okay, it sounds like they are not making those communications just yet, but what I can tell you is every now and again, you'll hear people inside the control room, which is honestly kind of like what I'm in right now, a control room for the news, but they've got a control room for this mission. And there are tons of officials sitting there talking back and forth with the astronauts, trying to figure out what problems they're having, can they help fix them? And actually one of those problems one of those problems went viral. There are so many of you guys looking into what happened with the toilets on this spacecraft, and I find it so silly, but you know what? If that's what you guys want to know, we're going to talk about it. So what I have here on that, they called this the Universal Waste Management System, and apparently it stopped working just hours after the launch on Thursday. What a crappy situation to be in. And so one of the astronauts, Cook, she is the only woman on board, and she's the first woman to make a mission like this, by the way. She actually took to it. They're calling her the space plumber because she successfully fixed the toilet issue and now everybody is able to use the bathroom as they're supposed to. During a press conference last night, NASA actually addressed that because of course members of the media wanted to know more about it, and they said, if I remember correctly, it was a wet issue, so they hadn't put enough water in the system, and so it wasn't, I guess, flushing out the way it was supposed to. But again, Cook, shout out to Cook, fixed it, and so here we are. Now our astronauts are able to use the bathroom freely in space. Thank goodness. Well, other than that, this coming weekend, we know it is Easter Sunday. Today is Good Friday. There are a lot of things happening around town as people get ready for Easter Sunday. We know the hairstylists, the barbers, they are absolutely booked at this point in time. It's really hard to try to get out there. Moms, dads, they're still trying to get those outfits for their kids to look their best. You're taking a look at our Easter forecast for this weekend. In a little bit, we'll have some back back and forth with the meteorologist to let us know exactly what we can expect, but from listening to our team overnight, it seems like Easter Sunday is going to be a wet one. You have some time to get out for brunch or an Easter egg hunt if you wanted to early in the morning, but I'm hearing that later on, like noontime, I think all the way up to 5. I'll check to see if that's still the time frame that we're looking at, but from like noon to 5, I heard that it is going to be a wash. So, you know, heed my warning. I'm just telling y'all what y'all need. Let's take a look at the comments. Okay, first and foremost, someone said, how did she fix it? They said that it was a water issue, that they just needed to add more water to the system. That's in regards to the Artemis II launch. We actually have a video clip if you guys would like to see it. On social media, they posted it. NASA addressed the situation, as I mentioned. Here on, you see it on your screen there. Let's see if we can go ahead and play it. It's so interesting when you see how like gravity works.
An issue with the toilet. Which one of you was the plumber?
I'll take that one. I'm the space plumber. I'm proud to call myself the space plumber. I like to say that it is probably the most important piece of equipment on board. So we were all breathing a sigh of relief when it turned out to be just fine. It was just an issue, I think, of sitting for a long time and needing a little time to warm up, a priming issue. But we did originally think that there could have been potentially something fouling up the motor. And luckily, we are all systems go.
That's all that there was a little. That is great to hear. Again, Christina Cook, apparently our space plumber. She does it all, you guys. She does it all. Okay, another question. I just saw it. Famous Amos says, I want her to answer, where are the stars in that live video? He's talking about Artemis II. Let's pull that picture back up. Because yes, you are correct. We are not seeing stars in this live video, if we can pull it up, of Artemis II. But as they continue to fly around, and maybe they're just in a very, I don't know, dark part of space, I can't really answer for what they are seeing. I mean, it's a great question, but I can tell you that every now and again we see some other things pop up in our line of vision. Like, I do believe we were seeing the moon not too long ago. As you know, they are on their way there, and also we got to see like the crest of the Earth, which was pretty cool. So if you continue to watch NASA's live stream, every now and again you will see things pop up into view. But why we're not seeing stars, you know, again, great question. I can't answer that, I'll be honest. All right, still ahead, I want to talk to you all about Easter holiday travel. A lot of you guys may be trying to fly somewhere. Maybe you've got a road trip planned and you want to know what is the best way that you're going to be able to get there. We'll touch base on that in a little bit. guys, welcome back to Philadelphia Live. I'm Judea Murray. Before the break, we had a question: why can't I see the stars in the pictures that you're showing us from Artemis II? And I mentioned that every now and again you will see other things pop into that live stream that NASA is putting out. Earlier today around 9 o'clock, we actually got this, where you can see the Earth peeking out. But we are also, funny enough, getting some really interesting theories here. So Nate says the image is clearly overexposed. That's why you don't see stars. Squirrel Hugger says, my guess is that the rocket makes it too bright out there. And then Naughty Chimps Crochet says, you don't see stars when you are in the sunlight in space because it's too bright. And then of course you've got George, who says it's because it's AI, it's fake. So pick whichever theory you would like. Again, I don't have the exact answer for you all, but if I do figure it out, I'll try to bring it to you. But moving ahead, I want to bring things back down here on Earth, down here in Pennsylvania. Travel. A lot of you guys may be getting out on the roads for Easter holiday weekend, or maybe you just have some plans that have nothing to do with religion. A lot of people are wondering how it's going to be when we have high gas prices. Airports may not necessarily be the best places to go. We were seeing long wait lines, and I have heard that maybe that has changed here in Philadelphia. I want to get right out to Alex, she's one of our reporters, talking to us a little bit more about what that travel will look like for you. Alex?
Hi, how are you? I would say good morning, good afternoon, but for everybody here at the pump, it's not really enjoyable. I'm gonna go with that. We're pretty much packed over here. We're down in South Philly off of Columbus Boulevard. Now, like you said, today we're covering all types of travel leading into this holiday weekend: air travel, ground travel, and at the pumps across Pennsylvania today, gas is up to $4.11, and that's 4 cents overnight that it went up, and 17 cents in the last week. Now, we were able to speak to Jana Tidwell with the AAA, asking a little bit about what can people expect traveling this weekend, what should they know, what should they do? And the first thing she said is when gas prices soar due to something like the conflict that we're having in the Middle East, we don't know what to expect, when we will see these gas prices go down. But the reality is that crude oil went up, and we feel that here at the pumps. So people normally travel this weekend. She says this is one of the busiest travel weekends of the year, not just because it's Easter, but because people are traveling for spring break. A lot of times you have kids, whether it's K through 12 or college kids, that have spring break this weekend or next. So Jana told us it's a little bit of a sort of sandwich of the spring break weekends. Either way, you see an increase in travel. And she said one thing: if you are one of these people that is worried about the prices at the pump, she gave us some tips that you can actually employ when it comes to how you should be driving. The first one she said is speeding actually uses more gas, so go the speed limit as you always should, and I know, as all Fox 29 viewers always do. And she also said it sounds a little bit crazy, but lighten the load in your car. She said if you're carrying around ice, maybe from the winter storms, or salt that you normally would use to salt to avoid the ice from the winter storm, and it's in the back of your car, she said take it out. Reduce any weight in the car. She said the lighter your car is, the less gas that you use. And I know these sound like such silly things to say, but the reality is this cost of gas here at the pumps is so cost prohibitive for so many people that they're deciding not to go on some of the trips that they've been planning. So while we'll be covering this really busy travel weekend, our first stop was here talking to people who are planning on those road trips, who are planning on seeing family for Easter, and seeing how these gas prices affect them. Janae?
Alex, I'm reading our comments too as you're talking to us. First of all, you've raised a lot of good points, because I didn't know that the weight in your car actually affects the amount of gas that you were using. And now I'm thinking, well, if you were planning to travel, you probably have some suitcases in the back, and maybe that'll impact how much gas is being spent, which is crazy. But these are the things you got to think about.
I know, it is crazy.
Okay, so then some people are already starting to tell us what gas looks like where they live. Squirrel Hugger says in Washington it is $4.99. So I'm wondering, for all of you guys who are streaming out there with us, let us know what state you're in. What are the gas prices you are seeing? Alex, I have a question for you. Is there any rhyme or reason besides, limiting the amount of weight in your car or how fast you're going? Any rhyme or reason to find a cheap gas station nearby?
Well, I think finding a cheaper gas station, if you can find one, there's no reason not to take advantage of cheaper costs if it's available to you. But it might not be worth it to drive around looking for a cheaper station, going through the gas that you already have. And that's just one gal's opinion on this one. I didn't get any official news or resources on whether or not that's advice. When we did talk to the AAA, of course, they said the biggest thing, the most important thing is that they want people to be safe on the roads this weekend. All of this gas, all of the travel, and all the price increases that we're seeing, that's just something that's unfortunately part of our reality right now.
Yeah, I mean, what you just said there is really smart, because an extra $30, $40 is nothing compared to a hospital bill if you weren't driving safely. So I think we'll take heed to that advice. Thank you for giving us this live look out there at out in South Philly, what the prices look like there, but then also sharing some of this information with us. We'll keep things going here in the comment section, because now they are weighing in on some of the gas prices that they are seeing. Let's bring it back here in studio. Dustin says he's in South Dakota. He's seeing $3.47. Dustin, we are all very jealous of you. I don't know that we will see under $4 anytime soon. Of course, we're all crossing our fingers and hoping for it. Now, again, the national average that we're seeing across the country, according to AAA, looks like $4.08. But then you go state by state. In Pennsylvania, we're seeing $4.07. In New Jersey, we're seeing $4.05, so not that far behind. And then Delaware tends to be the cheapest, and they are still under $4 at $3.88. But as Alex was saying there, maybe it's not so worth it to cross state lines just to get your gas, because you are wasting some of it coming back into state. But for those of you who are streaming right now with us from Delaware, first of all, hey cousin, glad to see you, but we are all jealous of you too. Okay, M says in Nebraska, $3.29. M, if you don't mind letting me know, on an average day before this conflict happened, what were you seeing for gas? Because $3.29 also sounds really good. For me, that was like the average that we were seeing in Atlanta on a good day. Orange County, Florida, or Orange County, there's the one in California? No, Orange County also has New Jersey, but $6.19. That can't be New Jersey's Orange County, though. I won't believe it. Okay. So we will keep up with you all. One thing that I can tell you, there are a lot of different resources that you could use. AAA is one of them. If you click on your state and then click on your county, you actually can look and find whereabouts the cheapest gas is. And if you don't mind driving a little bit within your area, that can be a great way for you. Gas Buddy also, if you use that app, this is not sponsored, but if you use that app, you can also look around and find the cheapest gas stations around you. They'll let you know just how far away they are from you in terms of miles and time. And then also they'll give you the directions if you want to plug in your GPS. Okay, Brina specified and said that Orange County was referring to California. So thank you for that. Yeah, when I saw that $6, I figured. M was the one who said Nebraska is looking at $3.29 right now as their high. And on an average day, they were looking at $2.75 to $3. What? Wow. I'm still sorry about the $3.29 because that's probably breaking the bank. But $2.75 sounds pretty sweet. All right, you guys, we are going to take a quick step back. When we come back, I heard SEPTA, that's our transit system out here in Pennsylvania, is having some changes being made, and it may make your ride a little smoother. We'll check in with an expert on that when we come back. Hey guys, welcome back to Philadelphia Live. I'm Judea Murray. I recently moved here to Philadelphia in order to do this job for you all. And one of the first things that I had to learn was SEPTA, how to use the transit system here in the city of Philadelphia. And it actually wasn't that difficult. But I have seen that sometimes maybe people have been complaining about trains coming in late or not coming on time. But I'm hearing that there are some changes being made that could change all of that, and it's coming at a great time because we know FIFA World Cup is coming here. There are going to be so many people in our area for a lot of different sports events, and they're probably going to be trying to figure out how to get around town too. So I want to bring in Andrew Bush from SEPTA. He's able to explain to us a little bit more about this new initiative. I heard we made a big purchase. Can you explain that to me?
Yeah, so what SEPTA just did was finalized a purchase of 24 rail cars. We're purchasing them from EXO, that's the Montreal public transportation system. And where these are going to be used is on our regional rail system, where we've had, unfortunately, some acute shortages of rail cars due to some emergency repairs we had to do late last year. So we have some ongoing maintenance with those cars. We've been looking at opportunities to purchase purchased used cars, basically purchased used rails cars, which is a little bit of a difficult process. There's not a rail car lot like you would go and purchase a regular car, but we did find an agency that was getting rid of these rail cars. They're still in good shape, and so we're going to be bringing them down here later this spring. Have to do a little bit of work to get them ready for service, but then we'll get them out. So that's going to help us add capacity for riders, and our goal is really to increase reliability. So we're really looking forward to this.
Okay, shout out to Canada, because not only have they given us an astronaut who's helping make this historic space launch, but we were also able to purchase some cars from them. That's pretty cool to hear. Now, let me ask you this. Are there specific lines, specific trains that these cars will be attached to? Like, have they been assigned just yet, or is that still to come?
It's still to come on which lines they'll be on. They'll be used on the regional rail system, and so, but as we get a little closer to putting them in, they'll get assigned specific trips. But what it'll do is it'll make rail car availability across the system better. So even if your line doesn't have these specific cars, it gives us more backup. So that means more of our existing cars are available for your line. So it's really is going to benefit all riders who are using the regional rail system.
So now, you mentioned with some of the old cars that we had some issues because of some emergencies that we've experienced here in Pennsylvania. Can you talk to me about where the money came from for this couple dozen cars that we're getting?
Yeah, so late last fall, as we were having those problems with the rail fleet and some other, we need some other infrastructure repairs, Governor Shapiro allocated nearly $220 million to SEPTA for these types of purchases, also for different kinds of track and power and other infrastructure work, things that are long needed, but SEPTA has long also been short on that kind of critical funding to upgrade our aging infrastructure. So we're underway on a number of projects that are going to make the infrastructure stronger, more resilient, and more reliable for our customers. And some of the things, when we upgrade tracks and power lines, that's not necessarily something our customers can see, but certainly they'll be able to see the rail cars. But overall, we think we're going to be able to make a lot of significant improvements with that funding.
Okay, so speaking of that, not only are we going to have that improvement in terms of maybe more people will be able to ride on these trains, but also you will see it. It's going to be very much so a visual improvement. So when you say that these cars still have to be worked on before they can be added into the lines, they also, I believe you said, still have to get here, right?
Still have to get here, right? Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's
Okay.
right. Yeah, so yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so then my question, since you're still working on them, are we talking about changes to the appearance? What upgrades, I guess, would be made to these specific cars?
Yeah, so the appearance won't change much from the picture you have there, other than they'll be branded for SEPTA. So some of the logos and color schemes there that were related to XO will be changed with the standard SEPTA logo. But the interiors that you're showing there, don't expect there to be any significant changes there. One of the interesting things that we have to change is your standard exit signs, door signs. They're all in French right now. So we have to make sure that we go through the cars and replace all of them to make sure that everything's clear for our customers. But the other work is relatively minor. There's some minor differences in the federal regulations that we have here in the United States compared to Canada. So there's some minor tweaks that we need to make. But we have inspected the cars. They're in great running shape. So we don't have to do any kind of heavy maintenance work. It's just some little tweaks here and there to get them ready for service.
Okay, tell me again when we can expect to actually see them and actually be able to ride in them.
Yeah, so we're going to have more on the timeline soon. Right now, we're working with XO, the agency, and also CSX to transport them down here. So that's going to happen sometime within about the next month and a half. Once we get them here on property at SEPTA, we'll be able to develop a timeline for putting them out into service. So a couple more things to come together before we can say specifically, but we're hoping to have them out there pretty soon, and we'll keep everybody updated as we make progress with that.
All right, Andrew, our audience is interested. They will be looking for that update, so we'll look forward to hearing from you guys so that we'll be able to report it for them. Thank you so much for joining me here on Philadelphia Live.
You got it.
Of course. All right, you guys, we're going to keep the ball rolling on some of our biggest news of the day. Still ahead, we're going to be touching base with some of our reporters who are out there in the field, getting you guys some of the latest news. We'll be touching base with them when we come back. Hey guys, welcome back to Philadelphia Live. I'm Judea Murray. I'm really excited to be able to share some of the biggest news of the day with you all. As you probably have figured out by now, today is Good Friday, and it turns out that there are some people in our community who are doing some pretty good deeds. I'm gonna get right over to Ellen, one of our reporters, who is showing us one of those good deeds in real time. Ellen, what are you seeing out there?
Hey, Judea, and hey, everybody. We are here at Chosen 300 Ministries in West Philadelphia, and boy, do they do some good work. So take a look. They are getting ready to give out some food for Easter on this Good Friday. They always do great work. They always feed the homeless and people, unfortunate people. Some people just down on their luck, just need maybe a little extra help. But today is extra special. Not only will they be feeding people, but they are giving away groceries to help people for Easter. And they have so much food here. It's amazing what they're going to be giving away. And it's in conjunction with Fill Abundance. So people will come in and they will be picking out groceries, taking grocery bags full of food. And so many people are having trouble right now paying their grocery bills, whether they are homeless or whether they're just, a little bit down on their luck. As I said, that's what the pastor here, Brian Jenkins, who runs 300 Ministries. They started in Philadelphia, but they're now in Asia, the Caribbean, Africa. They help thousands of people around the world, but it all started here in Philadelphia. And people have been lined up outside for almost 2 hours. So I'm not going to show you them right now because some people don't want to be on camera. So only certain people are allowing us to show them, which is fine. So that's why I'm inside right now with the volunteers. But I just want to show you around the room and show you, all the food that they have. And the couple people that I have talked to already are so appreciative that they're getting this food. And I interviewed one gentleman, and we'll talk to him. We'll hear from him later tonight at 5 o'clock. He was helped by Chosen 300 Ministries, and now he comes to give back. And I just love stories like this. But on this Good Friday, people are here giving back. They're here to help those in need. And you should see some of this food. It's amazing what some of the grocery stores have donated. And as I said, in conjunction with Fill Abundance. But that's what's happening here. So it's a wonderful thing to see on this Good Friday.
I'm really happy you were able to tell us about that guy. It makes me think about something that we tell kids all the time, but it's so true for us adults too. They always say, if you see it, you can be it. And this man literally,
Absolutely.
He may have needed help. He got out there to get it, wasn't ashamed to do it, which is the first step. And then in doing that, is now able to
wave
help.
to them.
Hey.
And he's a Navy veteran as well. So he was down on his luck a little bit, and now he comes back to help out. So, and this is the pastor. He's the best. So we have great people here. So they do such good work here at Chosen 300 Ministries. So we'll have more on it later. So it's great. This is our first live shot together. So it's great talking to you.
Okay, wait, Ellen, I'll let you go in a second, but first, do you mind just turning your camera around and showing us what's on the tables close up? I think that'll help.
Yeah,
too.
sure, of course.
Okay.
Can you? Yeah, if you can see it on my phone. Let's see. Let's see. We've got all kinds of chips here. So I'm trying not to take any for myself because there's so many great things here. So we've got chips, and then Pastor Brian showed me we've got all kinds of food. We've got the beef here. Hold on. Look at this. We've got, I'm holding it up. We've got beef. We've got Genoa salami. I mean, they've got all kinds of bacon. We've got all kinds of cheeses here. Look at this. I mean, this is like high quality stuff. We've got all kinds of fruit, vegetables. We've got mac and cheese. I mean, we've got amazing stuff. We've got protein drinks, we've got coffee, we've got soda, and this bread. I was joking with one of the volunteers earlier. I said, I might take some of this with me. I mean, this stuff is really good stuff. Look at the bread. She's like, help yourself. I said, no. The news lady is not taking their bread. I don't want to get in trouble. But this is really high quality food. I mean, people are thrilled about this.
Yeah, no, we are definitely seeing some really good stuff out there. When you actually picked up the salami, I was thinking that is actually my favorite. So, yeah, some really great stuff that we're seeing there. So, not just the groceries. I heard they were also doing some free haircuts, which is so great because, the groceries definitely help you on the inside. The haircuts help you on the outside. When you look good, you then feel good, which then goes back to the inside. So, love to see it. And I heard. Go ahead.
We interviewed one of the gentlemen who got his haircut, and he was so appreciative. And I said, you're going to look great for Easter. And that's what he said. He felt really good about himself.
Yeah, absolutely. A Squirrel Hugger said that's awesome too. So we got some viewers who are really excited to see something like this happening in our community. Ellen, thank you so much for giving us a live look. I'll let you get back to it because I know there's so much more that you have to gather for the news still ahead. You guys, what a cool opportunity. So again, that organization, if you'd like to look more into it, Chosen 300, as Ellen was telling us, they started here in Philadelphia, but they have already branched off internationally. That's the type of good that is happening here at home. Love that she was able to let us be a part of things. Then again, haircuts, that grocery distribution. Later on tonight, they're supposed to be having an evening worship and a meal. So if you'd like to get out there, again, that is a big thing that is happening in our community. We will continue to report on this. It's happening out in West Philadelphia. We'll have more on our website, also the Fox Local app, in case you are interested. Okay, before we go, I want to show you Artemis II again. Every now and again, you can see more things happening out in space. And remember, I told you I thought that I saw the moon. I think that we are actually, I can't tell if that's a glare. No, it's a glare. It's definitely a glare. I was thinking maybe it was a far off planet, but all the way to the right of your screen, I do think we're taking a look at the moon as Orion makes its way closer and closer. I'm not sure if we're supposed to get there by the end of today or if tomorrow is still another day of travel. But again, this is happening live. NASA has been showing us these live pictures. This is a camera that is right outside the aircraft, the spacecraft, as they are making their way to the moon. And once again, the purpose of this mission, they're hoping that we can determine whether or not humans can, really make it into deep space like this, and whether or not they would be able to be sustainable on the moon, and eventually could we make our way to Mars. So these are questions that they're hoping that this particular launch, this mission answers. And I mean, if the answer is yes, I can only imagine what's still to come. They do say there are more Artemis launches in the future, so we'll be keeping our eyes on it. I just wanted to make sure we got that. And then last but not least, if we have a picture of the White House or even that stakeout camera outside of it, I want to see if we can get to that. There we go. This shot, it's live. It's on the campus of the White House. We have been waiting for a couple of hours now, hoping to hear from maybe Caroline Leavitt, the White House press secretary, or another law enforcement official or some sort of White House official to able to tell us a little bit more about the situation that's developing between the U.S. and Iran. In case you missed it, we heard that a U.S. fighter jet was shot down. Iran has claimed that they took part in this. You're now taking a live look at Beirut, where every now and again we're able to hear some booms. But I'm also seeing from the Associated Press that the pilot, a crew member, actually was rescued after that U.S. fighter jet went down. So that is a big development that we did not have at the top of this live streaming segment for you all, that I'm able to bring you now. I'll be looking more into this in the commercial break. And when we come back out, I'm hoping that I'll be able to share more with you on what exactly has happened here, what we know about that crew member, and what we know that Iran has been putting out to its people. We'll be back right after this. Hey guys, welcome back to Philadelphia Live. I'm Judea Murray. I want to make sure that we're touching base on what the weather's going to look like this weekend. A lot of you may be getting ready for Easter Sunday and you want to know, is the hair going to stay put? Is the outfit going to be okay? I want to get right out to Drew, our meteorologist. And Drew, I was taking a look at your shot. Are you outside the station right now?
I might just be right outside the station. I thought we'd do a little walk around. First and foremost, it's so great to meet you. I got to meet you off air the other night. I had such a great time talking with you, and I can't wait to work with you more. So good to see you. And all right, let's talk about the hair, all right? Hair's looking okay, but it's a little humid out there, so it's a little flat, all right? A little flat. I had to do a little extra gel. And you know what? For Easter, you're going to have to do the same thing. So we will get rain on Easter, and it will be coming in the middle of the day. But before we get there, we got some nice weather. Just not right now. Yeah, a little cloudy. And I'll tell you what, it has been pretty cloudy and foggy down the shore. But slowly but surely, the edge of the clouds is they're going to get eroded away. And some shore points, like in Delaware, Rehoboth Beach, they got the blue sky. So we will get sun later today. I know it don't look like it, looking like that right there in Philadelphia, but it's on the way for several hours from now. It's going to take some time in Philly, like 5 o'clock we'll finally get the sun out and it'll be looking nice. Because it's taking time to get the sun, well, I got the winter coat on, all right? It's a little chilly out here. So plan for some 60s as we head into the afternoon. Then we soar. We soar into the 80s on Saturday. Saturday's the best day of the weekend. We actually get sun, not a day of gloom right there. So we got some sunshine, we got some 80s, we're looking good. Then look what comes right back. The clouds are coming back for Easter Sunday because a cold front is on the way with some rain. So that means two things. Yeah, rain, but it's also going to get colder on the backside. So we're looking at temperatures in the 50s after Easter. Easter itself, okay, numbers in the 70s. And so that's what we can plan for. We're planning for some rain right around, say, lunchtime and a couple hours after lunchtime. By dinner time, the rain will be out of here and some of the colder air is moving in and those winds are coming back. You know, when we have these temperature swings, you got to have wind to even things out, and that's exactly what will play out late Saturday afternoon, late Sunday afternoon and on Monday. So that's what we're looking at as we head into the weekend. We're just waiting for the sun here in Philadelphia. As I stroll down Market Street, and I'll show you my view right now. I'm walking toward Penn's Landing. So right in front of me in about, say 2 blocks or so would be the Delaware River. I'm not going to keep walking into the river, but it's just good to see what's going on. You can see plenty of people out today. We got the hoodies on. Some people not going for anything, just going for a t-shirt. And a couple other people with the t-shirt, but I think hoodies, a little sweater, like the jackets, like those folks, that's kind of in order. Oh, let's see if these guys are having a cheesesteak right here. Oh yeah, we got some cheesesteak action going on. You know it's Philadelphia with the cheesesteaks. Now looking good, guys, for lunch right there. Are you guys from the area? We're live on Fox 29 right now. May I ask, where'd you guys come from?
Utah.
Utah? What brought you down to Philadelphia from Utah?
We wanted to see the history.
Oh, the history. Are you guys here because of the 250th this year? That gets you thinking about that?
Yep, we're thinking about it.
All right, so far, what's the review on the cheesesteak? We're looking at your cheesesteak. Do you want to share?
Oh, no, I'm not sharing it.
All right, not sharing with me. No, I share the review. We want to know. Come from Utah.
It's great. It's great.
It's great.
You guys are funny. You guys are a party. Are you joking around a little bit? So it lived up to expectations?
Totally. We loved it.
I love it.
So good. And the onion rings were good too.
Ooh, those look like killer onion rings. I feel like we should do a segment on the show called What's for Lunch? So onion rings for me, cheesesteak for you guys. And this come from right here?
Yes.
Oh. That looks pretty good. What about you guys? Have you been enjoying the time here? You guys from Utah too?
Yeah. Came to celebrate the beginning of the 250. Went to Boston, and now here we are in Philadelphia. You got to see Ben Franklin and everything else going on here.
Oh yeah, I've got to love the free tours down there in Old City, like Independence Hall. And by the way, right around the corner, there's a great science museum that's free. Right on the other side, it's right across from the American Revolutionary Museum. Highly recommend it. They have a free lunch exhibit on the science of school lunches. It's really cool. The names escape me, but it's good. You enjoying the time here?
Yeah, it's been so fun.
Well, clearly you guys like the cheesesteak, all right? Take a look at that. So today I'll say this, clean bill of health from the folks from Utah. Thanks for that. It was fun meeting you all. They are liking the city, and we're already getting ready for the summer of celebration here in Philadelphia. They're coming in early. You got to love that in the city of brotherly love.
Okay, Drew, first and foremost, the people love you. In the comment section, as soon as you came on, it was, hey, Drew. So I made sure that I would shout out some of these folks. Best Gamer HD, Brenda, J. Lamore, the people love you. Okay, so while you were talking about the cheesesteaks, while you're talking about the cheesesteaks, the onion rings, someone said that you need to get water ice, but I also learned that I've been saying it incorrectly. What's the actual pronunciation for that? They're telling me
see, I thought you were talking about Italian ice. Well, first of all, I'll give it to you because I'm a local. I grew up in Westchester, all right? So, but here's the thing. Around here, when you go to Rita's, and Rita's one of our sponsors, they've done a lot of stuff with weather. It's not water ice there, it's Italian ice. And I've been corrected a couple times. When I say I want some water ice from Rita's, they go, no, it's Italian ice. So around Philly, it's Italian ice. Otherwise, it's water ice. But if you're a true local, hey, what's up, guys? Hey, can I put you live on Fox 29? You one of our viewers here? What's your name, guys? Well, it's great to see all you guys. Thanks for saying hi. Appreciate the love. See, look at that. We're getting love all around. But yeah, if you're a true, real deal local around here, you'd say water ice. It's water ice.
Water ice.
If you're going for it.
Water. I got it.
You gotta practice your water, all right? But I think you got it. You know, I think a lot of people would say, just please call it water and not a water. You don't need to be that much of a local, all right?
I'm learning so much. You're expanding my vocabulary. Yeah, okay, so I actually grew up calling it Italian ice too. I'm also a New Yorker, but I can't really comment on anybody's pronunciation on anything because I say coffee. So, you know, it is what it is.
Hey, listen, you sound like a local to me. I wouldn't even guess that you're from somewhere else. And you know, it must be that New Yorker in your blood, right? We're neighbors. New York, Philly, we're all the same.
In Philly, we all the same. We all fam. Thanks to Drew. We'll touch base with you a little later on, but this has been so much. I love your contributions to the stream, and I also love that you bring us outside so we can actually experience the weather with you. This has been really fun.
Yeah.
All right.
And the flowers.
Wait, they are commenting in the chat saying water ice, water ice. Everybody has their own pronunciation. This is so much.
You know it.
All right, we'll check back in with you a little later on. Still ahead, you guys, there's a lot of news of the day that we have to talk about. On a more serious note, you've probably heard Iran. They have been saying that they shot down a plane that may have had some American crew on it, and we are actually hearing from the Associated Press exactly what took place there, an emergency rescue mission, and what came of it. We'll talk about all of that when we come back. Welcome back to Philadelphia Live, you guys. I'm Judea Murray. A lot of really important news to break down for you all, so bear with me. We're going to try to get through it together. And remember that this is an interactive news conversation, so if I say something that's confusing, you've got a question for a reporter that I might be talking to, or you just have a comment in general, you can hit us up on any of our social media platforms. We are monitoring our live chats as we speak. So again, if you say something to me, I may be able to shout you out and read your question, comment on screen. It's a really cool thing that we're able to do here with Philadelphia Live. All right, let's start with the shot outside the White House. I want to be able to talk to you guys a little bit more about what's happening with Iran as it pertains to the U.S. So we heard that Iran has claimed responsibility for shooting down a fighter jet, a U.S. fighter jet in Iran. We heard that they were actually telling people, almost kind of putting like a bounty on the pilot that was flying that jet. They were telling their people via their televised newscasts and broadcasts that they wanted residents to go out and hunt down the pilot that was ejected from that fighter jet. So America's interest, of course, peaked. We need to make sure that our people, our troops, are okay. And so they launched an emergency rescue mission. And through that, according to the Associated Press, they were able to rescue one crew member. Now, I'm trying to determine whether or not that crew member was the pilot in question, but I can tell you again, one crew member has been rescued after that American aircraft went down in Iran. The U.S. and Israel is explaining this to us. They're giving us this information that I'm able to give to you all. Both of those people who spoke to us spoke under anonymity, so I don't have their names. Now, that rescue that I've been telling you about took place. The U.S. military has been conducting a search and rescue operation. They are hoping that they can make sure they find anybody who may have been out there. We are waiting, hopefully, to hear from the White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, or maybe even President Donald Trump. As you can see, there is a live stakeout cam outside of the White House campus. We're hoping that soon we can hear from an official who can tell us a little bit more about this. But a very eerie situation, because this is the first time that the U.S. has lost an aircraft in Iranian territory. And it's also, I mean, just goes to show just how dramatic of an escalation that we're seeing here. So just a couple of nights ago, the president actually addressed the U.S. and said that he thought that this war would be coming to an end very quickly. He's talked at length about how we have annihilated the Iran's military, but it's coming to show that when incidents like this happen, maybe they say they've got more fight left in them. So again, it would be really interesting to hear from either Caroline Leavitt, the president himself, or maybe even the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, on what's happening there and what's the plan ahead. I know they can't say too much because you don't want to give everybody your blueprint, your roadmap, what's going to happen, but it would, I think, be nice for Americans to get some sort of resolve, some comfort that things are being done. So if we hear something, we will try to get that back to you as soon as possible. Now, another thing that's really interesting about this, and I think why people weren't jumping on this news when it first happened, is because Iran has said multiple times, they've made multiple claims of shooting down U.S. aircraft, of airstrikes, and this, however, is the first time that we have seen them go on to their televised broadcasts and then, like I said, kind of put a bounty up on the pilot, saying anybody needs to go out there, try to find this pilot, and if you return him, they were saying that you would be given a handsome reward. Really odd sentiment there that they were putting out, but that is what I'm hearing that they were telling their people. They also specified neighborhoods that you would be able to check in to find that person. But again, we are hearing that due to emergency rescue, search and rescue operations, we were able to rescue one crew member. I don't know exactly how many people were on that particular fighter jet or whether it's a one-man situation, but that's what we have there on that. They also haven't given us any information on this person's current state. So whether or not they are in the hospital being treated or anything else, we don't know too much more about it than that. But it's been really interesting to try to keep up with this situation. As soon as I do have something, if we've got some movement on that stakeout camera, of course I'll try to bring it to you live. But like I said, we have been watching this for a couple of hours now. No one trying to come up and try to make any claims to that situation out there. All right, still to come. Did you guys hear about this situation? It actually unfolded the other night, but yesterday there was a press conference addressing this 3-year-old child who had been shot. This happening in Philadelphia. So a little bit of background information I can give you all, but I do want to let the district attorney explain it for you all. We have that this young child was say in possession somehow of a firearm. They pulled the trigger and unfortunately they shot themselves, and officials say in the head. So now we have heard that this child's relative, a very close relative, is being charged, and that relative is only 17 years old. So to give us a little bit more information on what happened there, I want to let you guys listen in to the district attorney, Larry Krasner. Let's hear what he had to say.
Good afternoon. Thank you for braving the weather to be here. It is a little chilly out. I want to introduce the gentlemen who are with me. I have to your right, my left, Anthony Voci, who is one of our most experienced homicide prosecutors, and who I often involve in cases that include juveniles where there is either a shooting or there is a homicide. Also with me today is Tone Barr. That's T-O-N-E, last name B-A-R-R. Mr. Barr is the head of victim services at the Anti-Violence Partnership in Philadelphia. He wears some other hats as well, but he is working with AVP, which is one of our community justice partners. We work with them all the time in situations like this. We are here to speak about something awful. And that is the shooting of a 3-year-old in the head. That 3-year-old is at this time in critical condition. The shooting occurred in that 3-year-old's home. Many of the specifics are not appropriate for us to discuss at this time. However, this much I can say, and Mr. Voci will say more. We know that another family member who is 17 years old was involved and has been charged with a variety of charges that Mr. Voci will explain. We know that the shooting occurred within the home about 11:30 last night. We know that the firearm that caused this horrific injury was missing from the home at the time police responded. This is an investigation that is ongoing, but it is obviously a tragedy. It is outrageous that any 3-year-old would be harmed this way. There are a lot of things that we as a community and we as parents and family members need to do, and they weren't done here, and we will talk about that. First, I'm going to introduce Mr. Voci to provide more details on the case and the charges, and then we will hear from Tone Barr to speak to community, and I'll have a couple more words at the end. Mr. Voci.
Thank you. As the DA stated, that little boy's sibling was arrested and charged with a felony weapon offense. He was also charged as a juvenile because he is 17 years old, so there's a gun charge for a juvenile not to be in possession of a firearm. This particular individual had a prior gun offense for which he is currently on juvenile supervision, making him ineligible under another statute to have a firearm based on a prior firearm adjudication. He's been charged with recklessly endangering another person. He's also been charged with tampering with evidence and obstruction of justice because the gun that injured this child is nowhere to be found. And we very much want that gun. And we would very much ask the community, the immediate neighborhood, and the community and the family members to assist us in locating that gun because it will be central to this investigation, which is ongoing.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tone Barr. I'm the Director of Victim Services for Anti-Violence Partnership of Philadelphia. I stand here alongside of the title, but as a man that's fed up. When you hear about a 3-year-old being shot, this is a time that he should be in the house playing with toys, being outside playing, just being an innocent child. And I'm gonna say that one more time, just let that sink in. A 3-year-old was shot in his home. Parents, community members, stakeholders, I'm gonna say this, please check book bags, check them rooms. Go over and beyond, because this is a tragedy that shouldn't have happened. Every day we hear about constant things in the news, and we can't normalize reckless behavior. So once again, I'm going to empathetically say this, please check book bags, check rooms. If you hear something, say something. If you see something, say something. Stand up. We must come together as a community and stop tragedies like this from happening. If we don't take a stand now, or you don't say something, this could be very well next time a tragedy that affects you, or God forbid, your own loved one. So, I'm just gonna say this one more time to the community, please check book bags, check rooms. You hear something, say something. This is a wake-up call. If this doesn't wake us up, the question is, what will?
All right, so you guys, some information that I can give you all. That 3-year-old rushed to the hospital. Again, that 17-year-old family member arrested, has been charged with multiple serious charges. And they do say, as you heard there, they're urging parents, guardians, caretakers, family, friends, if you know there is a firearm in the house, they're asking that you have that firearm locked away and put away, that it should be out of sight and out of mind for young children, because you never know what can happen. We have more information about this on our website, fox29.com. You can also head to our social media pages where we've been keeping up with it. And then, of course, you can go to the Fox Local app to learn a whole lot more. That's the latest that we have there on that. We'll be right back. Hey guys, welcome back to Philadelphia Live. I'm Judea Murray. I want to bring you out to an ice hockey rink, not because we're looking at the Philadelphia Flyers. Put them to the side. We're out to Havertown. I'm hearing that this is a place called the Stadium, and we're joined now by Jen, one of our reporters. Jen, tell me what's going on there because it's something pretty special.
Yes, very, very special. Right now, what you're seeing are actually two local teams who are on the ice playing each other, but it's been hockey on the ice all day, and it will be for the rest of this afternoon because there's a very special tournament being played by the Haverford Hawks. They're a club team here, and a club team all the way from Finland. They're called Viking It, and they're based out of Helsinki, and this is a really special cultural exchange program that has been going on for nearly 30 years. I heard the Finland team actually first came over here to Haverford Township to play back in 1999, and they've basically been going back and forth ever since. In fact, I had a really cool conversation. One of our interviews was with a dad who was the first team to travel all the way to Finland for this cultural exchange program. They play each other, and I think especially with these young players being so passionate about ice hockey. They say, you know, some of the styles of play are very different from country to country. So it's really cool to compete and experience directly as your competition on the ice. But beyond that, what's also cool about this program is that the players actually stay with each other. So the players themselves will become host families and then return that favor once the next team comes over, whether it's Finland or here to Haverford Township, Pennsylvania area. So not only did we talk about that style of play when it comes to ice hockey, but we also talked about what kind of food did you enjoy? One of the Finnish players we spoke with, her name was Siri. She said she loved pasta. So she said that was a real treat to try here in the U.S. But really, really cool. This year, there are 41 players, young players ranging in age from about 12, 14, who have traveled here to play. In total, with their parents and other family members, there are over 100 who came over from Finland. And it's a whole week-long itinerary. Like I said, ice hockey is at the center of this and the main passion point. But there are trips to New York City, of course, a whole day of touring around Philadelphia, our favorite city. So it's a really, really cool experience. And I think what I heard over and over again, not only from the young players, but also from the coaches, the parents, is that it's all about friendship and building lasting memories. So, you know, it's really cool to hear how much it impacts a young person and how they carry those memories forward for years to come.
Jen, first of all, this is so cool to see. When it comes to learning a new language, maybe you can attest to this too. For me, it was Spanish, but the best way to really get your hands on it and really understand it is to be immersed with it. And so when you said that these kids are living with each other because it's like an interchange and exchange, that was really cool to me. And I want to make sure that I understand here, this is something that's been years in the making, decades almost?
Yes, almost 30 years. I believe exactly this is the 27th year. And I mean, they're going to keep it going because I already talked with a mom and her son. They're planning on going to Finland next year, and they're hosting a couple players from Finland this year. So they end up building relationships because a lot of times they end up staying with the same players here in Haverford Township area and then back over in Finland. So very, very cool. And I love the club team name. They pronounce it Viking It, but for us it would be Viking. So yeah, it was pretty cool to have interviews with some of the Finnish players too.
And we got to hear even from some of our coworkers here just how instrumental this program has been. So kind of cool to see you get out there. Another question that I have that I know was asked during our meeting was exactly how did this begin? Because it is so cool. It's apparently been going on for almost 30 years now, but how did they start?
It was funny because the people who were kind of guiding me with, which families and players we can interview, she actually pointed out one of the founders, and he moved here decades ago when all of this started from Finland. And obviously he had a love for ice hockey. I mean, he's still showing up as these tournaments are taking place, this week-long itinerary for the Finnish families who are here. So I think it was someone who actually loved hockey, ended up moving to this area and started spreading that love of hockey and also his culture and sharing it. So it was just very organic. And I think 1999, like I said, is when the first players from Finland arrived here to play. And it's been going on ever since, back and forth.
It should be a crime to think of 1999 as almost 30 years away from now. I am very uncomfortable with that math there, but I guess I got to come to terms with it. We're getting older. All right, thank you so much for giving us a live look out there as the game's going on behind you. And again, as people maybe just now joining us, you were live in Havertown, Pennsylvania, again at the Skadium is what they're calling it. And give us one more time, just a brief overview of what exactly is happening there. One more time.
Yeah, of course. So right behind me, this is inside the Skadium here. Again, there are two local teams right now that are playing against each other. And you can see, these are young, passionate players who are on the ice. They're getting down and dirty here. And this is a tournament that's going to be taking place all day. Based on the schedule that I saw, the championship game is going to be tomorrow. And what's so special, there's a goal. What's so special about this tournament is the years-long relationship with a club hockey team all the way in Finland and the cultural exchange program where they travel back and forth each year to play competitively. These are youth who are playing competitively with each other. And again, coming up later tonight, 4 and 5 o'clock on Fox 29, I'm going to have interviews with a dad who was the first team that traveled to Finland. And now his son is actually part of the club team here for the Haverford Hawks. So pretty special to see second generation now blooming out of all of this.
A full circle moment. Jen, one more question for you. This is coming from our TikTok. Brenda J. Lamore wants to know how long the players are staying in the area. I know you mentioned that they have, I think, one more game in this tournament.
Yes, so they've been here since earlier in the week. I believe maybe since March 31st, based on the itinerary I saw. And I believe there is a farewell dinner that might be taking place either tomorrow night once the tournament's at its end, and then perhaps on Sunday. Let me double check for you guys. Yep, Sunday is the departure day. So the farewell dinner will be tomorrow night once this tournament is all wrapped up. From what I'm hearing, the Vikingit club hockey team from Finland is extremely good. But we'll see. You never know until you finish the game.
Okay, we'll be checking out that later on, and I know you will also be bringing us some more live shots throughout our newscast through the day. So if you guys want to see more about these hockey players, keep up with Jen. She'll be making more appearances right here on Fox Local. And shout out to Brenda for that question. All right, you guys, I want to get into this new segment that I've got going. It's my question of the day, but I'm calling it what you think. So I want to bring up one of the members of our digital team. This is Jake Leonard. Welcome on up here.
Thank you.
All right, so let me pose the question to the people. I was scrolling on Threads earlier this morning and I saw this woman. She said, hey, I had a hair appointment at 10 a.m. I had a nail appointment at 2 p.m.
Okay.
My nail tech reached out to me and said, my first appointment has canceled. Would you like to come earlier? And she said, well, I can come at 12, but remember, I've got that hair appointment at 10, so I'll get there when I get there. Cool.
Okay.
Except when she gets there at 12 something, the lash tech then charges her a late fee. And so my question for the people is like, is the lash tech tripping? Was she, it had every right. When she remade that appointment, are you now bound to the cancellation policies or the rebooking policies or even the fees that come with being late to an appointment? I wanted to know what you think.
Yeah, so I took that scenario and I made it into a go vote. You can find that fox29.com/go vote under the Fox Local tab. Our question was, should you be penalized for being late if the provider changed the original time? So it's actually really interesting. So on the go vote itself, yes, still late is at 7%. And then no, that's ridiculous is dominating at 93%.
I need to talk to you. 7%. What's going on?
It's interesting though, because on social media like Facebook or Instagram stories, it seems to be telling a completely different story.
Really?
So yes, one comment on our Facebook honestly just says, late is late regardless of the time change. Like, it's up to the provider if they're able to see you, and if you're a new patient, there's a lot. So they're basically saying, you know, they're kind of doing you a favor by squeezing you in, and so you should try to make your best effort to be on time. And then so another person kind of went off of that and said, well, look at it this way. If someone is late, they mess up the wait time for everyone else. Another person who's waiting for an appointment could have gladly taken that appointment and showed up on time. And this person said, I always try to be 30 minutes early in case of traffic or unforeseen events. And then if you have to pay a fine, that's the incentive to be there on time, which I get it. You know, I think in a normal scenario, yes, if you have an appointment, be there on time. Be there 30 minutes. I totally agree with that. However, in this case, you know, you're doing them a favor.
Because you're filling a time slot that someone canceled on. And if you're thinking, okay, the 2 o'clock appointment, if you're thinking now you're at 12, I mean, I don't know how lashes work.
Right.
I don't get my lashes done. But if that appointment is an hour, hour and a half, then you're not necessarily pushing anybody back because you were the 2 o'clock slot.
No, exactly. Yeah, you're coming in and doing them a favor. And especially in this case, you said the person kind of went into it and was like, I have this other appointment, you know, like, I'll try to be there on time, but, you know, like, I may be a little late.
Yeah.
You know,
she kind of lets you know without explicitly saying it. She kind of lets you know.
Yeah, like, it's like she was inconveniencing herself to help out the other person.
That's the key.
Yeah, you know, so it's like, it is like, you know, I get it, but it's like, I feel like in a situation like this, there should be a little bit more. Yeah, you know?
But you know what? Also, what I'm gathering is this makes perfect sense if it had been a medical appointment. Because even if your provider did call you to change that appointment time, I think for a medical appointment, no matter what, you should be early. And if you agreed to that earlier time, then you should. Well, I grew up with the saying, if you're on time, you're late. So
yes, no, literally.
So you guys can still weigh in. We've got a lot of comments coming in to us on Instagram, on Facebook, and of course our Go Vote, where you should go ahead and submit your vote. Oh, we got a comment on TikTok. Okay, Brenda, first of all, shout out to you because you have been really interactive with us. The provider better suck it up, but I try not to be late, especially when money is involved.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
That's really valid. And like you said about the type of appointment, I feel like it does
makes a difference.
It does make a difference. So, but I mean, like, life happens. Like, you know, I mean, I feel
they don't care. They want that $15, Jake.
yeah. I mean, I guess it's $15, but I mean, it's still like in this specific situation, to me, I feel like it's wrong.
Yeah.
You know, like it might be a little bit more complicated depending on what's going on, but this one, I feel like they shouldn't have done that to her.
But I am very much so interested in you guys weighing in and telling us your opinions too. Of course, I got my own thoughts, but you know, it is what it is. All right, still ahead.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Jake. Thank you for joining me. This is so much fun. I love doing these kinds of things. But still ahead, this is a very interesting time for the city of Philadelphia. It's actually Jazz Month. April is Jazz Month. And so there are a lot of different ways that you could celebrate. I want to get into it with an expert, honestly, in every sense of the word. He's their program director for jazz at Mid-Atlantic Arts. We'll touch base with him when we come back from this commercial break. Welcome back to Philadelphia Live. I'm Judea Murray. We got a lot of exciting things to talk to you about. If you're looking for something to do, because it is Friday, there's plenty to get out there and get yourself acclimated with the city. I am new here. I've been telling you all about this. I've been looking for some of the fun things to do, the great places to go out and eat, and this is helping me figure out some of the cooler things here. So I want to touch base with Philly Jazz Week, or Philly Jazz Month, I should say. It started as a week, and I actually have the founder of it live here in the room with me now. Ernest Stewart, thank you so much for making some time to join me.
Hey, how are you?
I am great. How are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm hanging in there.
So I know you're a really busy man, but I want you to talk to me a little bit about how this all started, because it was a week and now it's graduated into this whole beautiful month.
So, yeah, Philly Jazz Month is a partnership between Mid-Atlantic Arts, the organization I work for, um, Creative Philadelphia, which was formerly the Office of Arts and Culture, also WRTI, and Jazz Philadelphia. We all came together to work on this. Last year, we rebranded Jazz Appreciation Month, and this year, we got it going, better than ever. And, we're really looking forward to a month full of incredible engagements.
Okay, this is really exciting. I'm a huge jazz fan, and I need to know, what does the jazz scene look like in Philadelphia? Where are the spots to go to?
Well, the great thing, first of all, about this month is that, we're helping to fund performances all around the city. So people are doing things all over the place. There's listening rooms over in record shops. There's a one-man play happening about John Coltrane. There's music happening in more standard jazz clubs like Chris's Jazz Cafe and Solar Myth. Um, but there's music all over. I think people's best bets are to go and take a look at phillyjazzmonth.com.
Okay, this has been really cool. Sorry for the technical difficulties we had just for a second there, but it seems like we're back and we're better than ever. So let's keep the ball rolling. As it pertains to Philly Jazz Month, talk to me about it. Anything that we can expect this weekend in particular?
Sure. So the great thing is that if you check out the schedule on phillyjazzmonth.com, you'll see the whole month's worth of things that we funded as our partnership. Um, but besides what we funded through the partnership, there's things happening all over the city all the time because it's Philadelphia and jazz is still a very bright, vibrant music in the city. Philadelphia has one of the most historic communities for jazz in the country or in the world, really. Um, so if you go to places like Chris's, there's small venues like Not So Latin in South Philly, Solar Myth. There are things happening all around you.
A lot of people are still very much so looking for their purpose in life, what it is they're supposed to be here to do. How did you know that jazz was your avenue?
I that's a good question. I just kind of fell in love with it at a young age. I was 12 when I began playing music. I signed up for the class before I had an instrument, and before I even talked to my mother about my desire to do so. I didn't want to be denied, but I was just sort of drawn to it. Um, and once I got to college at Temple, I really began digging into the music and the culture and the scene around Philadelphia. And Philadelphia has an incredible jazz scene. Historically, when I was around, there was a place called Ortlieb's Jazz House that I used to go to all the time in Northern Liberties. Um, and we used to just go and listen to the elder musicians play weekly and try to pick up as much from them as possible. So, hopefully we get to continue some of that with Philly Jazz Club.
Well, I definitely hope to make it out to a couple of events, and if I do, I will go ahead and tag Creative Philadelphia or Creative. Yeah, I got it right. I'm sorry. On my social media, on my social media pages. Again, I really appreciate you making some time for us, talking about some of the different events that you guys can get out to, how you got started, which is really, I would say, inspiring. I'm a musician myself. I didn't choose music full time, which is why I'm here. Flute, piccolo, violin, and the piano.
Hey, okay.
Got a very musical family.
Oh, that's amazing.
I didn't choose music full time, but 100% it is one of those avenues, and I think you can attest to this too. It teaches you so much, not just about yourself, about the world, not just about your instrument. I actually learned how to read from reading piano music first, and I was reading in Italian and then reading English. Yeah, so cool stuff. You never know.
Amazing.
So thank you again. I hope to see you out there. If I do also get to one of those events, it'd be cool to meet you in person. And I see you guys talking in the chat too. No problem, no problem. I see you guys talking in the chat too about some spots to go to. Brenda, the first one she gave, actually, wait, before you go anywhere, Ernest, I want to make sure I say this right, so correct me if I'm wrong. It's in Northern Liberty. She says it's called Ortlieb's? Ortlieb's?
Ortlieb's. That's the place that I referred to. Yeah. That was my home away from home when I was in college.
Oh, okay. So obviously she enjoyed it too. Another person said Bob and Barbara's at 15th and South also has jazz night sometimes. Okay. So everybody's feeling it. Again, thank you so much for joining me. We're going to keep talking about some of the incredible things that you can do around the city of Philadelphia, you guys. In case you're looking for some plans this weekend, don't go anywhere. Tonight is First Friday in the city of Philadelphia. We have a representative to talk to us a little bit more about what we can expect if we get out there. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Philadelphia Live. You're taking a live look at Old City here in Philly. A beautiful, beautiful site. But you know, in a couple of months, we'll be celebrating America's 250th. But tonight, the streets will come alive. As we know, it is First Friday. And to talk to us a little bit more about it, what you can experience if you'd like to get out there tonight, is Job Itzkowitz. Thank you so much for making some time for me. He's the Executive Director of Old City District. Job, welcome in.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
No problem. All right. So, as I've been telling the people, I have literally just moved to Philly. I'm trying to figure out what are the things to do here. And when everybody said, "Oh, Judea, it's First Friday. You need to get it there out there on the strip," I was like, "Well, what does that pertain?" So, talk to me about what you can do if you get out there.
Sure. Well, welcome to Philadelphia.
Thank you.
First Friday's been a Philadelphia tradition for now 35 years. This is the 35th anniversary of First Friday, and it's one of the nation's oldest arts walk. So traditionally, all of the galleries in Old City, which is the neighborhood with the most galleries in Philadelphia, open their doors for an open house. Oftentimes, that's a new artist having an opening. Sometimes it's just showing what the gallery already has. And you walk from door to door. Most of the galleries are located on 3rd Street or 2nd Street north of Market, but there's a few other galleries scattered throughout the neighborhood. And it's a real great opportunity for people who are either longtime art connoisseurs or people who are new to art to get to experience the neighborhood. And then, of course, no First Friday is complete without hanging around in Old City, grabbing a drink, going out for dinner, catching a movie or a play. It's a complete evening for anyone who wants to come down and visit.
Okay. Is it one of those things where, kind of like I said, I'll be going out there kind of on a whim, or should you go out there with a plan of where you're gonna go and see?
We have about 13 or 14 galleries that'll be open, so you should have time to get to everything. We have on our website, oldcitydistrict.org/first-Friday, a list of all of the events that are happening in those galleries. But really, I think it's the most fun to walk around and explore. Some of our retail businesses are open as well. So I don't think you need a schedule. I think you come around 5 or 6 o'clock, plan for a few hours walking around, and then make a dinner reservation for afterwards.
Okay. And as I'm going to see the galleries, do I need to bring any money with me? Are there, cover charges or anything like that?
Nope, most of the galleries are free. Of course, if you want to buy
Okay.
some art, they would welcome that. But no, it's really to learn about art, explore art, purchase what they have if you fall in love with a piece. But no, it's really about the experience.
Okay. Let me ask you this. What keeps you guys doing this every single month? I'm assuming that it's very popular.
It's very popular. I mean, it has this longevity for 35 years. And most interestingly, it's not us guys doing it. This is an organic creation of the galleries that were here in 1991. They decided they wanted to have people come down, and why not bring them all down at the same time to explore all of the various galleries? And so when they created this experience, it just caught fire. And it's been going on ever since. Survived a pandemic even.
So now this might be kind of like asking a parent who their favorite child is. So I will tailor my question. Instead of asking you about your favorite exhibit or favorite gallery, are there any specific spots that you would recommend someone, maybe for the first time going to Old City, you have to see this one?
Well, I think you're exactly right. I get questions about my favorites all the time, and I always decline to answer that. But there are some things to note this First Friday. The first is that Arch Enemy Arts is having their 14th anniversary. They're on the 100 block of Arch Street. And also, this is the First Friday that Ministry of Awe is opened. Ministry of Awe is the new experiential art exhibit on the unit block of North 3rd Street. Now that is pay as you go. That's a ticketed entry. But it's the First Friday that they're open. So we're expecting to have a lot of excitement on that block this month.
Okay, and as you are the executive director for Old City District, where can we go if we want to learn more, if we want to keep up with some of the events that may be going on down there? Is there a specific social media channel that our audience should be pointed to?
Yep. Certainly our website has the most robust information. That's oldcitydistrict.org. And for First Friday, it's oldcitydistrict.org/first-Friday. And then Instagram is our next most popular, which is at Old City Philly.
Okay, now I'm gonna be honest with you, Job. Normally I don't tell people where I'm going after work, keep those things private. But I do plan to get out there at some point tonight. I'll try to film some things. I'll be posting on my social media. So if you guys want to see how I experience Old City First Friday here in Philadelphia, you can make sure you do that. I'm Judea Marie on all platforms. Job, thank you so much for your time. This has been so cool. And I can't wait to get out there.
See everyone tonight.
See you tonight. All right, you guys, want to get another check-in on our forecast. While we're talking about taking a stroll through Old City, we know that our meteorologist, Drew, the last time we were with him, he was checking out some of the businesses and keeping us up to date with what the weather looks like. And he joins us live right now. Drew, where have you found yourself and what are we looking at for this weekend?
All right, so I didn't go far from the station today. I'm still right by the station.
Okay.
Station's over my quarter. There's Fox 29. And right back here is some Ben Franklin heritage. And if you're new to the city, I just walked into some people from Maryland. As I walked out of the station, they said, hey, Drew, where's the Ben Franklin Museum? Well, how about I show you guys, and I'll show what's going on. So this is Market Street right there. You got the Delaware River and Penn's Landing there. And this all here dates back to Ben Franklin. Right here is the printing press. And this is an actual post office. We can go in and mail something. And this was Ben Franklin's post office back in the day. And if you mail something, they have a special Ben Franklin postmark on it. And let's just go take a little peek inside because we can. And let's check this out. You can see and they even have like a little museum in there too. And it feels all historic. There's Ben. And so it's a pretty cool place to mail Christmas cards. And I'll take us back outside and I'll take us around the corner here and we'll walk right down. So straight ahead, and it's tough to see through this tunnel, you can look down into the remnants of Ben Franklin's house. And it's kind of cool. So there's people over there looking at it. Right over here is the Ben Franklin Museum. And as we head toward some of the remnants of Ben Franklin's house, can we talk about this weather? It's still cloudy. It's still gloomy. It's still cool in the 50s. So I got my coat on right here. But things will change in a couple hours. Sun will start breaking through the clouds. And yes, we do get sun by sunset. We'll be in the 60s by then. Then as we head into the weekend, for the most part, we are dry on Saturday. There'll be 1 or 2 pop-up storms, but so few places get it. Don't even take the umbrella. You're not getting it. No neighbor will get it if it happens to pop up somewhere near you. So that's on Saturday. Plan for temperatures in the 80s and just a nice day. We start out with a lot of sun and some more clouds start stopping by in the afternoon. No big deal. It is cloudy on Easter. It's just as gloomy right there. And then from there, we get some rain. And it looks like this on Easter. Dry for the morning if you're going out for services. Then at lunchtime, it will be wet. So 11 o'clock, the rain is in areas to the west of Philadelphia, like Berks County, the Lehigh Valley, Chester County. It's in Philadelphia at lunchtime. The rain sits for a couple hours, but it's out of here for everyone by dinner time. So dry for breakfast, or, well, I can't say brunch because some people go to brunch pretty late in the day, you know what I'm saying? Dry for breakfast on Easter. Dry for dinner if it's a late dinner. None of these like normal Easter 2 p.m. dinner things. That'll still be a little wet in some spots like South Jersey, Delaware. But the normal dinner time, that's when the rain's out of here. And I'll tell you what, Judea, this is good practice for me because I just realized people do brunch on Easter. People do dinner early. I got to watch how I talk about the timing of the rain. And one of the things you and I were talking about a little earlier when I first met you, the best places to go in Philly. So I got some recommendations for you. And that nice couple we talked to from Utah, I gave them the same recommendations. I gave them where the best hot chocolate is in town. Do you like hot chocolate?
Oh, love it. And my mom loves it too. So please, deets, I need them.
Okay. When Mama comes down, all right, and she's with you, not only is the hot chocolate great, it's just as good as Paris. So Paris, there's this famous hot chocolate place. It's like thick, velvety hot chocolate. It's in this hotel. People go from around the world to get it. I stopped by when I was just traveling through Paris. I had like a layover and had a couple hours to kill. I'm like, let me go get this fancy hot chocolate. Well, it is the same style of hot chocolate. It is super rich and velvety. It's almost like they just put a chocolate bar into heavy whipping cream. And it is so, so good. And I mean this when I say this. It's better than the one in Paris. You don't need to go to Paris to that fancy chocolate shop for the best hot chocolate in the world. Listen, you go try it. So the place is called, in honor of France, Jimmy. That means I love. It's like a 20-minute walk from the station. It's at 12th and Locust Street. And Jimmy, great pastries too. They do, this is cute, because we are the city of brotherly love. We love our pretzels. They do a croissant as a pretzel twist. It's like a chocolate and croissant as like a pretzel. It's very tasty. And they have regular croissants and stuff. So you and Mom have to go to the little Jimmy Cafe. It's closed on Mondays, but open the rest of the week. Best hot chocolate in town. Best pizza in town, my vote. Well, kind of right back here, not too far from that family. We at the station love Oh Brother Wood Fire Pizza. It's really cheap. If you go to their website and order online, it's $10 for a large. It's a personal size. It's truly wood fire pizza, and it's yummy. Now, you're a New Yorker. It's not going to be New York style, okay? It's not going to be that thin style. It's like a pan pizza. So, yeah, it's not going to maybe be your jam, but for like a close pizza at the station, it's worth checking out, unless you're like New York style only. I mean, if you want New York style, there is a place called NYPD Pizza. Oh, you do anything? Oh, then you're my kind of people. Then I'll tell you what, you and me can go get pizza one day. Like, yeah.
Are you a pepperoni lover?
I'm vegetarian, but we can get you pepperoni.
That's okay. I can do cheese. We can compromise.
I love it. That's what the world's about. It's about compromise. So we can even go to Oh Brother, or I'll take you down. It's a block away from Jimmy, the great hot chocolate place. NYPD Pizza is really good pizza too. I like it, and it's, yes, of course, New York style. These guys are so New Yorkin, they go to New York on the weekends. So maybe that's your place in town. So there's my pizza recommendation. There's my hot chocolate recommendation, and a good day just to take your mom around and show her some of the sights in Philadelphia, like right here where Ben Franklin's house used to be. And let me show you around the corner here. They even have a little bit what's left. You can kind of look down into these things. And this one's funny where the family's looking. That's actually, well, I'll show you in a second what that is. So let's see here. There's not much to it. Oh gosh, we're just seeing dirt. I'm gonna put the phone right up. Let me get a better one. Hold on, I'm gonna get a better one over here. This one's pretty good. Oh, sorry, guy. I'm just walking in, everybody. So this one right here is what's this? Oh, this is their old, their cellar kitchen right there. Clearly they didn't really maintain his house. And then this one's funny. So back in the day, what happened when you wanted to use the restroom inside? It went into something called a privy pit. So the remnants of Ben Franklin's bowel movements are in there. Not to get too crude, but I learned about the history of how things worked back in the day. They said this brick line area, they called it, instead of a bathroom, necessary, like, because, yeah, things are necessary when you got to go, was built when around Ben Franklin expanded his house. And this is how they pretty much got things from the bathroom and leftover water to go somewhere, and it went into that. So the interesting history of Philadelphia. So there you go, Jude. I wanted to give you, like, a little introduction to the city, from that to the good foods.
You talked me through hot chocolate, pizza, and then you went straight to the crapper. That's crazy, Drew. But it is what it is.
I was worried when you said hot chocolate. I'm like, where you go when you say hot chocolate? Because we were just talking about that privy pit, how it comes in. Maybe that's how it goes out. I don't know. But also, hey, the flowers are coming up here. This is beautiful. Yeah, tulips are coming up. So pretty seeing the signs of spring in Philadelphia. So we look forward to a little bit of sun. A little bit later this evening, coming out in a couple hours from now. That sun will certainly get more of these flowers, the daffodils and the tulips, to pop. The ones that aren't, this one's clearly close. Sun tomorrow in 80s for your Saturday. Rain in the middle of the day on Sunday with temperatures in the 60s. It's going to be cold in the middle of the upcoming week in the 50s, but then our numbers start going on the rise, and we'll be in the 70s by the end of the upcoming week. So that's what's ahead. That's what's going on for the Easter weekend. We know that you and I do a little pizza and get to know each other a little more, and I look forward to that whenever we pick a date.
I look forward to it too, Drew. I do have to tell you, while you were talking about NYPD pizza, of course I had to Google it. This is what New Yorkers do. When somebody recommends a pizza place to us, we have to see what it looks like, and then we can determine if it's going to taste good. And right now, they do have the seal of approval. This looks delicious. If you guys are on here with us, if you haven't been yet, go ahead and Google. This looks incredible. Drew,
NYPD pizza.
NYPD.
All right, we're gonna do that pizza. All right, that's the one.
All right. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you guys coming back to me in studio. We got a couple more minutes, and remember I posed that question to you all of what you think. I told you about this young woman who was supposed to have a hair appointment at 10 a.m. and a lash appointment at 2 p.m. Her lash tech hit her up and said, hey, my first appointment canceled. Could you come any earlier? And she said that maybe she could come at 12, but she did have that hair appointment. And so she, wouldn't get there when she got there. Well, according to her, when she pulled up at around 12 something, she got the notification that she was being charged $15 as a late fee. And so I wanted to know, was that fair? What do you all think? And we posed a question that was more general that said, If your provider switches up your appointment time, are you then liable for a late fee? Should you be penalized? And you guys definitely weighed in. So first and foremost, on my Instagram story, shout out to all the people who let me know their thoughts. All right, Avery Josiah says, as much of a personal space a lash or hair appointment is, it's still important to maintain professionalism. Doesn't seem fair at all. All right, and then Lauren Simone says, let me tell you something. By the time I was done with that lady, those lashes would have been complimentary. Play silly games, win silly prizes. That's a little fiery. All right, and then we've got MG Beauty who says, I think it's totally inappropriate for the lash tech to charge a late fee in this situation. Almost sounds like trying to make up for lost revenue on the canceled appointment. They are being very short-sighted and aren't thinking about this potentially costing them a customer. I can tell you right now, you would have lost me as a customer for sure, for sure. At the very least, the $15 is coming out of the tip that I would have given you, and I'm a great tipper. I'm a pretty good client. So I just think it's interesting. I heard as we were checking in with our digital team that some of you out there on Facebook were letting us know that it all depends on what kind of appointment it is. Anyway, this has been Philadelphia Live. I'm Judea Murray. The news does continue at 2. Don't go anywhere.